Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we will explore how to use the if function in Excel. The if function in Excel is used for logical comparison between a current condition and a true or false value. It allows you to make logical comparisons between a value and what you expect by testing a condition and returning one result if the condition is true and another result if the condition is false. Essentially, the if function helps in decision making within spreadsheets by executing different actions based on whether a specified condition is met. This function is incredibly versatile and can be used in various scenarios, such as calculating bonuses for employees who have exceeded their sales targets, categorizing data based on certain criteria, or automating responses based on user input. It can also be nested within itself or combined with other functions to perform more complex logical tests. So let's just jump into the sheet. The if function belongs to the logical group and will return one value if a condition is true and another value if it's false. The syntax starts with an if followed by a logical test, then the value if true and the value if the logical test is false. So the logical test is basically the condition to be evaluated, and the value if true and the value if false are the values returned based on the condition. And I already prepared one example right here. So my boss told me that all orders that have less than $500 in sales should be categorized into loser orders, and all orders that have more than $500 in sales are our champion orders. So how you can do it is by an if function. If we double click it, we can see the ranges affected by the function. And we are starting with an if, then we are having a range inside our logical test. So this right here is our logical test. We start, I say, if this range contains a value that is greater or bigger than 500, then give me the value champion, because then the condition is met, then the value is true, then give me champion. If the logical test isn't met, so if we have a value that is less than 500, then please give me the value loser. And as you can see, here we have loser, loser, loser. And for 500, we have loser again, because 500 isn't greater than 500. So if we type in greater equals 500, then it will, of course, change to champion. We can do the same for the quantity. If we want to categorize orders in small and large orders, we can just do it by an if function. We start by equal if, open parenthesis. Then we are doing our logical test. We want to check if the quantity inside an order is, for example, greater than 4. And then we say if an order contains more than 4 products, then we say it's a large order. So the value, if the logical test is true, then it should give us a large value, else it should give us a small order. We're closing the parentheses, we hit enter, and we can see, okay, 2 is smaller than 4, of course it's a small order, small order, small order, 5 is bigger than 4, and so on. And here we have the same, again, 4 is inside the small order category, because we are saying if this range contains a value that is greater than 4. But we can, of course, change this as well by just typing an equal sign here, and then it will change to large order. You can also use if functions for more complex, to get more complex calculations. For example, if you want to get the country out of this order ID, you can see that the orders start by CA for Canada, or US for orders coming from the USA. And to get a new column with just the country where the order is from, we can use the if function. So we are starting by an if, open parenthesis. Then we need a logical test. So we want to say if the order ID contains CA, then it's Canada, else it's USA, right? But as Excel doesn't have a logical function or function that is called contains, we need to find a workaround, and we can do this with find. So first of all, I'll show you how find works. We can type in equal find then we want to find CA inside our order ID, and it will give us the place of the character where CA will be found. So CA is at the first, starting at the first character inside of this string, so it will return a 1. If we drag this down, it will give you 1 for every order coming from Canada, and 0, or not 0, but an arrow for every order coming from the US, because CA isn't found inside of that string. And we could use this to build our if function. So we're starting by an equal sign, followed by if, open parentheses. Then we want to have the logical test. So we are saying find, then we want to find CA inside this order. And if it's true, then please give us Canada. Else, please give us United States of America. And we close the parentheses. And now we will also use the formula isNumber for our condition, because 1 is a number, and if Excel finds a number, then it will give us Canada. If it won't find a number, such as an arrow, it will give us the USA. Okay, we hit enter, and it will give us Canada. Now we can, of course, drag it down, and you can see, okay, this order is coming from Canada, we have Canada. And row ID 4, this order is coming from the US because the string is starting with an US, and now it's giving us USA. We can delete this row again. And as you can see, yeah, we can do more complex calculations with the if function, and it's always the same scheme. It starts by the logical test. Even if the logical test is a bit longer, that's not a problem. And then a value if the logical test is met, and one value if the logical test isn't met or if it's false. And yeah, that's basically it. That's how the if function works. I hope you liked this video. If you did like the video, then please give it a thumbs up and follow for more content. See you in the next video.